Hello my friend, I hope this video finds you well. I finished a song. Finished it at the end of 2025 with the aim of creating a whole album this year. And you know, finishing a song just surprises me every time. So I want to share with you what it feels like to finish a song from the inside, the small wins, the frustrations, and there's been plenty of doubts. Recording this song certainly felt familiar. I've recorded and finished plenty of songs from my home studios in the past, but never with such a large gap between them. It's got to have been years since I've actually put down a song and finished it. The thing I've noticed is it certainly feels a little bit different at 47. So this song is actually an old track. I wrote it, must be over 15 years ago, and recorded it in 2012, which is 14 years ago, unbelievably, for my first solo album. So I kind of had all the arrangement for this track already mapped out, but the thing that I was really concerned about was recording a song from 15 years ago. Even though I know I've got way more studio know-how, was it going to lose all of its soul and vibe and feel because I'm recording it at 47 when it was written by a 32-year-old? But I knew how the song ticked, and having that arrangement sorted out and knowing that a song works kind of fits nicely in my head. One of my personal frustrations working on my own is when you just can't quite get the guitar track to fit with the piano track, and it can be really frustrating because you're trying to do so many things at once. So it's actually quite nice to come to a song where it feels like all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle all fit together. So really what I've got to concentrate on is recording it well and getting across a good performance. One of the things that I knew I had in the bag though was my production and mixing and recording skills. I've got 15 years more experience on me in 2012 recording this track. And that was one of the things that's really lured me in to record these songs. How good could I make them sound? But despite that, there were plenty of moments, and I mean plenty of moments, where I opened up the project and started working on this track and just thought, should I really be doing this at all? The doubts along the process were really real. And actually, about halfway through, when I'd got quite a lot of the instrumentation recorded, I kind of just started feeling like, well, this is just going to be maybe a bit of a demo or something maybe I'll use on my channel just to use for tuitional purposes. I was kind of like thinking, I think this has lost its whole feel and flavor of what it had originally when I recorded the track. Something else that has changed kind of out of my control is my own voice. In between those 15 years, I've had vocal surgery and had a polyp removed, so I've got a lot less raspiness to my voice, which is really lovely for me in spoken world. But sometimes that raspiness was really pleasant when recording my voice. So a very different sounding voice, certainly a deeper sounding voice too. The days where my project crashed or the computer crashed, the DAW crashed, any kind of setbacks like that, they were the hardest days. And what I started to do when I felt like I was turning a corner with the track was to just approach one thing at a time rather than thinking about, I'm going to have a whole session where I'm going to record lots of things at once. I just try and focus on getting one thing done well, trying to get the drum track down so it sounded great, or just focusing on some guitars or cleaning up the piano line, just taking small bits at a time rather than how I would have approached it 15 years ago, which would have been just having full-on 8-hour sessions. These days, I just find that way too overwhelming. This time around though, I definitely think I was finding more joy in the detail because of this. Just taking my time allowed me to take time to dial in the right guitar tone that I wanted for the track, or to prepare my voice correctly for singing, all that kind of stuff, just taking way more time. So having finished the track now, here's some of the lessons that I've learned. And a big one is that finishing a song certainly isn't about perfection. But it's about fulfilling your commitment to choices, to choosing sounds, choosing the arrangement, choosing the lyrics, choosing everything about a track is what's going to get you to the end of the road to completing a song. You're not chasing perfection. You just have to make those decisions, and ultimately it's those decisions that are going to become an extension of you and your sound. Sometimes the value of a track isn't in the track itself, but things that you achieve and learn through the process. I certainly learned more about my judgment, my restraint, and my choices. And when you think about all of these decisions and them being under the human duress of sometimes self-doubt or just not being sure whether it's the wrong or the right path to take, all of these decisions that you make that end up being the sum total of what your track is, and if you like, an extension of what you sound like, these can't be replicated by AI. And that's really what finishing a track captures. This song to me feels like a quiet rebellion against perfection and speed in what seems like a world that's fast and perfect, and AI so much when I'm dealing with technology and with music these days. Feels good to finish a song that just feels and sounds like me. Another benefit of time is that as this song had 15 years to mature, I kind of knew where all those little hooks were, which when you write in real time, you're never going to totally get if you're working on your own. The sort of thing really that comes from having a band, or the benefit of having more than one person working on a track. But as it turns out, if you leave it a good few years, then you really understand how you can pull the most out of a song. This part here, where I sing "No one's looking," shows exactly that. Too fast, and you dance just like no one's looking. I've still got the original demo of this song, and this particular section here, from the guitar solo into a middle eight, I just wrote completely off the cuff. And I think pretty much the guitar and the vocals and the lyrics all just came down really when I wasn't thinking. That's what I love about it. It's what it makes it feel alive. Faceless traces fracture what you say, bleeding into colors I can't wash away. I mentioned earlier in the video that my voice had got deeper, but I kept this song in the same key, but this bit was a stretch. As I hung around you, and now I watch them fall around 1,000 flames, in the hope that one remains. That's right at the top of my full voice register, but I'm really glad I kept it in because it's true to the original. Finishing this song reminds me why I still make music, for myself, for the process, and for the clarity that it brings me. So I'm going to keep on working on my album, and I'm going to be sharing the experience of making this album throughout the year on this channel. And I'm going to leave you with this thought, a conclusion if you like, for finishing this track, is that in this AI world, for me at 47, creating music still matters, and it matters because it matters to me, and recording this song matters to me. And because I care about that, well, that's enough. Have a great day.